Chapter 6. Pirate Radio in the 80s. When New Cockatoo came out, it had mediocre success, getting a few plays on the mainstream radio and the Pirates, and even charting in the Black Echoes reggae chart. That was pretty good for an 18-year-old youth from Sudbury, with a debut single on a new independent label. I was just happy to hear my voice on the radio and see my name in the reggae charts. It wasn't a number one hit, but it was my first step from regular dancehall DJ to bona fide recording artist. It wasn't long after my first single when I met Junior Dan, a talented reggae singer starting to attract attention locally. I was in the hallway of Tavistock Community Centre with my friends after just defending Vigilante Sound at a sound clash when Junior Dan approached me and said I was the best DJ on the sound and my hiccup style was tough. Junior introduced me to a young musical brother named Jazzwad, who started working with us on some radio-friendly material. I realized that to get a hit, I would have to adapt my style slightly and make a tune people could sing along to and DJs could play anytime, day or night. The singer and DJ format was working well at the time, with big hits coming from the likes of Robert French and Clement Irie with Bun and Cheese, and Frighty and Colonel Mike's hit tune at the time, Life. The singer would sing for the girls on the chorus and the DJ would come rip it up on the verses. The three of us went to Link Robbo, who got us another late night session at the A-Class studio with Gussie P. Initially, Gussie wasn't convinced about Junior's tone of voice, but I threw the Rottweiler a bone and said I thought Junior had a unique voice that worked well in combination with my energetic verses. Robbo just wanted to hear a hit. We did a cover of the song called Tell Me Why, which got us into the top 10 of the UK reggae charts. We followed up with a dancehall version of You Can't Hurry Love, originally done by the Supremes, also covered by Phil Collins. Again, it did well in the charts, but it was our stage show performances where most of our songs worked best. Junior and I worked on our live show, and we got a lot of bookings with Robert acting as our manager. Junior was singing in the choruses for the girls, and I would come in and tear the place down with my energetic verses. We had a formula that was working, so UK dancehall crowds loved us. We got bookings all over the country at reggae nights. We were tearing up and down the motorway from London, Luton, Birmingham, Nottingham, Manchester, Bradford, Leeds, Wolverhampton, Sheffield, Bristol, Bedford. If they were on the UK reggae map, we were there. Every weekend we were performing somewhere and getting regular work at all of the biggest London reggae clubs. Shanolas, Podium, Trends, Tudor Rose, Ritzy and Tottenham, Oasis, the Fridge in Brixton to name a few. We shared the bill with many great UK and Jamaican reggae acts. The scene was strong in the late 80s and early 90s, and we were more than holding our own and mixing with the best. We were a crowd favourite on any bill and any stage we stepped on. In those days, it wasn't necessarily the hits that made a show. It was more to do with the artist's stage presence and rapport and the vibe with the audience. That's what Junior Dan and I became renowned for. That's what got us repeat bookings and built our names, solo and as a collective act. Also, we had good relationships with club promoters and radio DJs and the media. That was important. If those guys liked you, you would get regular work. If they didn't, your name would be tumbling down the bill, hardly visible on flyers, and your songs would be off the airwaves. A lot of strong artists didn't get work because they had a bad attitude or poor social skills. We were strong artists, great performers, and good at self-promotion, as we knew who to talk to and how to talk to them. We were just happy to get out the hood and be on the road, making money and meeting girls. So we always kept good working relationships with all the clubs, radio stations and promoters. It was essential to maintaining constant work and staying relevant in the public's ears and eyes. Pirate radio stations were incredibly powerful and important in the inner cities in the 80s and 90s. They often had a lot more influence over people's musical taste than mainstream stations. The Pirates played a lot of reggae, rare groove, hip-hop, ska, revival, gospel, rocksteady, and above all, dancehall. They catered to what the ghetto people wanted to hear. And they played 24 hours. Uptown radio stations like Kiss, Radio 1 and Capital would only play reggae late nights or on Sundays and never at peak times. But the Pirates played what they wanted when they wanted, so they became the tastemakers. The stations were sprinkled all over London and further afield, operating their transmitters and trying to avoid the detection from the DTI. coming to you from high-rise housing estate tower blocks and business park units, even in the back of the coming to you from high-rise housing estate tower, coming to you from high-rise tower, coming to you from high-rise housing estate tower blocks and business park units, and even from the back of a mechanic's garage. Junior and I got a lot of love from the pirate stations, and this helped us to get on the mainstream stations and climb the reggae charts. The pirate stations, our notorious live shows, and our singles were all helping establish us as up-and-coming recording artists. Solo and in collaboration, our faces were out there. We were ghetto celebrities, and we were heading in the right direction.